Hey, Mom, where are you now? Are you out shopping? The house is a mess. Something wrong?
Oh, you're home. Early today. How was school?
As usual. Why do you ask?
Oh, you know what, Iris? I'm thinking of leaving home.
Huh? What do you mean, leave home? Are you running away or something? Did you have a fight with Dad?
No, that's not it. I'm thinking of getting a divorce.
Huh? You and Dad? Divorce? Why?
Well, it's complicated. I got stuff going on too. Anyway, from now on, you guys are on your own. I know it's gonna be difficult, but I want you to support your father as best you can. Okay, see you around.
See you around? Are you kidding me? Sorry we're getting divorced. See you around. I can't accept that. I need a better explanation than that.
But you're still just a kid, Iris. You probably wouldn't understand anyways. These things are for grown-ups.
You say I'm a kid, but I'm already 15. I'm old enough to understand. Just explain it to me. So, what's this all about?
All right, I'll explain. I recently met this really nice guy. I want to marry him, so first I have to get a divorce. That's all.
You recently met someone? Who is this guy? What's his name?
His name is Michael. He's an old classmate from back in high school. He's from a very prestigious family, and he himself is a successful businessman. He was super handsome and all the girls had the hots for him back then. I met him at the alumni party a couple of months ago, and he came up and talked to me. His wife apparently passed away some time back and now he's single.
And so you decided to split up with Dad and marry this guy from high school?
Yes, that's right. This is fate, a chance of a lifetime.
A chance?
Yes, a chance to marry a rich and handsome guy. To be honest, I really didn't want to marry some lowly company office worker. I want to be the wife of someone like Michael. I didn't want to be that middle-aged woman sitting through discount coupons at the supermarket. My dream was to be a woman that bought brand items and went on luxurious vacations overseas. And that chance has finally arrived. I want to start over, kickstart my drab lifestyle.
So, does that mean the life you led so far with me and Dad was nothing? That means you didn't want to marry Dad, right? And you regret giving birth to me. Sure sounds like it. What about all this time? All these years we spent together as a family. Was it all just a waste of time?
It's not that I wasn't happy. I simply don't want to continue as just your mom. I want to live the rest of my life as a woman. You only have one life to live, and I am going to live it as I please.
I see what you're saying, but why is the house such a mess? It looks like you rushed out of there in a hurry. Mom, where are you right now? If you're going to get divorced, you're coming home to talk about this with Dad, right?
I will never return to that house ever again. The place is a mess because I was looking for the bank books and other stuff. I'm taking all the money we saved.
What? Are you serious? All the money? All our family savings?
You've heard of divorce settlement, I'm sure. Women are entitled to it when getting divorced. It's really not enough considering whom I'm getting married to, of course.
But you can't just take it all. I mean, my piggy bank is even gone.
In reality, I would get more in the range of tens of thousands, no, hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know? You're still young, Iris. You wouldn't understand such things. Normally, we would meet to work out the proper amount, but I don't have enough time for that. I want to marry Michael as soon as possible. And your money? Well, that all came out of your father's meager salary, so I figure it's mine.
If you take all the money, what are we supposed to live on? I'm starting high school at Sanford Academy this year. Or did you forget? And how about my college fund? We were saving up for that. What am I supposed to do?
I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to get divorced and you won't be family anymore. I won't be able to help you out financially. About school and education, talk to your father, okay? I left the divorce papers on the kitchen table. So could you tell him to sign it and send it in? Okay, so have a great life, Iris.
Hold it a minute! Mom!
Iris, get back to me as soon as you see this!
Oh, hello. Laura, was it? It's been a while. I forgot your name. What do you want?
You came to my house today, didn't you, Iris? My mother-in-law said that my daughter came to visit.
Oh yeah, right. I went to your new husband Michael's home. I was impressed. He really does live in an awesome McMansion. Unfortunately, you were out.
Why'd you come? Do you want something?
Nothing in particular. Just wondering what kind of life you were living. I mean, you did take all our savings, leaving us with nothing. But your husband and his mother were there. So, figured I would introduce myself and say hello. After you left home, I asked people about you. Heard some interesting things.
What did you hear?
Well, for one, they told me your new hubby and his mother, that your husband had passed away. When you met Michael at the alumni party, you said your husband had passed away some time ago, and that you were a widow. What's more, you said you were being harassed and abused by your former husband's parents, and when your husband died, they kicked you out of the house. You're like some poor little thing abused for many years. I really couldn't believe the barefaced lie you concocted. Can't believe you would go so far to get money. A real con artist.
A con artist? How could you say that?
What else should I call you? You took everything. Our savings, my college fund, my piggy bank even. Then you lied to some rich guy and move in with him. And you're even trying to rip them off too, aren't you? Okay, maybe not a con artist, more like a thief.
I didn't marry him for that. How can you call your mother a con artist and a thief? So disrespectful.
Mother? You? You told that new family of yours that you had no kids. It's as if I didn't even exist. When I visited and told them that I was your daughter, wow, they were blown away. They had no idea. You were acting as if you had no daughter. Please don't start acting as if you're my mom all of a sudden.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Anyways, why did you even have to visit? We divorced years ago.
It's obvious, isn't it? I went there to get the money back that you stole from us.
Like I said, I didn't steal it. That was a divorce settlement.
Divorce settlement? Don't make me laugh. I was naive back then and you sweet-talked your way out of ripping us off, but, well, I learned a lot since then and I know my rights. You're in no position to get any kind of divorce settlement.
The hell I'm not! When getting a divorce, it's the woman that gets the divorce settlement.
That's where you're wrong. When a husband and wife divorce, you first determine which side initiated an affair. That person pays the victim and the victim is my dad. Oh yeah, and you did have an affair with Michael even before you were divorced, right? I confirmed that point with your husband today, so that's been verified. So, you were two-timing dad from the day you met Michael at that alumni party, am I right? So, according to the law, you're the one that has to pay up.
That can't be right. Besides, I knew nothing about that. And that was years ago. None of that money is left. There is a time limit to these things, too. It's all in the past.
Huh? A time limit? Are you being serious? If so, I'm just starting with you.
Huh?
Because you took everything of ours and disappeared. Dad and I had to sell the house and move out. Because of the hardship, Dad fell ill. I gave up on going to college. I did manage to finish high school, but to support the family, I had to work various part-time jobs. After high school, I got a job and I'm currently working hard. Dad's taking his meds and working as well. Can you continue the way you are after hearing what I just said? After the hardships we endured?
Well,
I took all line messages from years ago. I took photos of the messed up living room and the divorce papers. I printed out everything and kept them all these years. One day, I was going to find out where you lived, and was intent on getting my revenge once and for all. That's how much I despise you. Do you even realize that?
I'm really sorry. I didn't realize you had such a hard time all these years. I was completely wrong about the divorce settlement. Please forgive me.
I don't want an apology from you. Just pay what you owe us. The money for infidelity and half of our assets. I will not forgive you until I see the money.
Okay, I will find some way to pay you back. And to my husband and her mother. I didn't want them to get the wrong idea about me, so could you help me keep this all a secret from them?
Huh? Why would I help you?
Well, you know, they find out after all these years that I was lying. Well, it would be a bit awkward carrying on, you know. And besides, he may even demand we get divorced. I have to avoid that at all costs. Please, I will find some way to pay you back.
Sure would like to help you out, but I mean we are complete strangers now. You're not my mother. You're just gonna have to work that out yourself.
Huh? How could you say that? That's so irresponsible. You appear out of nowhere after all these years, disrupt our family, and don't even lift a finger to help. Give me a hand here. You're my daughter after all.
Did you really just say that, daughter? I have to be honest with you. I have no mother. She died a long time ago. Okay, see ya. I'll send over an official invoice later. So, see you later. Hope everything works out with your family.
Hold it right there, Iris. This conversation is not over yet. Iris!
After that conversation, my dad and I drew up an invoice for the compensation we wanted. Fortunately, her husband, Michael, paid the entire amount at once on our behalf. Michael said he was not aware of her predicament and what we had gone through, but that was no excuse and he insisted on apologizing and paying us a generous amount as compensation on top of his wife's divorce settlement. With that money, I was able to go to college and am currently enjoying life on campus. My mom, former mom, is not divorced but is apparently working her butt off at a farm owned by the family to pay the money that she stole from us. Not really the luxurious life that she had imagined.
Good morning, Melanie. I just arrived to your hospital room. I don't see you around. I brought a change of clothes. Everything okay? Is there something you want me to take back home with me? Like laundry or something? Oh, hey, Mom. Yeah, actually there is. There's a bunch of laundry in the closet near the door. Get those washed, would you? Alright, no problem. Oh, and Melanie, there's one more thing. Yeah? What is it? You and the baby are scheduled to come home the day after tomorrow, right? Yes, that's right. Why do you ask? Well, I suddenly have this urgent issue back at my parents' place, and I won't be home for a few days. So I asked my son to take the afternoon off the day after tomorrow to pick you up by cab. Hope that's okay. Oh, yeah? Okay, so Rob is gonna pick me up, huh? No problemo. No problemo? Oh, yes, I get it. I really feel awful about it. No worries, I'll be fine. Actually, I'm sorta thankful. Excuse me? Never mind. Hey, Mom. Weren't you supposed to be back from your folks' place about now? Yes, that's right. I should be home in about an hour or so. Oh, yeah? You don't have to come home. Oh, wait. Pardon me? After your husband died, your son Rob and I live in the main house. And you live in the attached cottage out back, right? Yes, that's right. What about it? Since I'm alone, I prefer the smaller house. Less to clean, it's actually quite comfortable. Although we live on the same property, we made it a rule that we would not interfere with each other's lives. I see. Then it's decided. Please vacate that cottage, please. Excuse me? But why do you say that? Seems obvious, right? After your husband passed away, the house was handed down to Rob, who's your only son. So I figured, since I am Rob's wife, I have the authority to determine who lives here and who doesn't. Makes perfect sense, right? And, what's more, I just gave birth to a healthy young boy who will next take over this property someday. So, simply put, I surpassed you as the authority figure here. I make the decision about this family and this property. You're not making much sense, Melanie. If you can't understand, I can explain it to you again. If you like, I got all the time in the world. Oh, and that little cottage you're living in now? Once you're out, my folks will move in, so I'd appreciate it if you get your stuff out of there ASAP. Thanks. I really wish you would stop making all the decisions like I didn't even exist. Considering that it would be hard bringing up a kid, it would be way easier for me to ask my folks rather than my mother-in-law, who I hardly know. Don't you agree? Don't you agree that a stress-free environment is important for bringing up a child? For both mother and child? So, you feel that my presence is stressful. Is that what you're trying to say? Please, Mom. Don't get me wrong. It's not just about you. I just grew up thinking that, that all in-laws are supposed to be a little... cruel and nasty. Does Rob feel the same way as you? I haven't asked him, but I'm sure he feels exactly the same. But I can't be persuaded to change my mind. If I can get $10,000 a month as support payment, my mind can be easily swayed. Pardon me, $10,000? Obviously, you can't pay such a fortune, so I want you out of the cottage by the end of the day. Even if I was to leave, I still have a lot of stuff in the house. I need a few days. I bet you're just saying that, and then you're gonna squat there forever. I have other accommodations, so that won't be necessary. Are you sure about that? I remember when you first moved in, Melanie. Those huge cardboard boxes? How did you even get those boxes to the house? I've always wondered about that. You know perfectly well how hard it is to move. It's not as easy as packing a bag and saying goodbye. Yeah, but I really doubt you have somewhere else to live, but again, that's your problem. Okay then, I'll give you until Sunday to move out. That should be more than enough time. If you're even a day late in moving out, we cut family ties and you'll never see your grandchild ever again. You're out of the house, like it or not. Just keep that in mind. Cut family ties, huh? I may be saying that to you sooner rather than later.
Judith, is this true? Did you really move out of your own place?
Good morning, Rob. Please, no need to worry about me. I'm fine. As you all know, I have other accommodations.
But it seems unfair. This is your home.
Yes, it is. By the sound of it, apparently Melanie hasn't mentioned anything.
Melanie, did she say something to you?
Yes, it was Melanie who told me to get out of the house. She seemed pretty adamant about it too.
Are you joking? She told you to leave your own home. Why?
I'm pretty sure I mentioned this to you before, but I just want to make sure. She knows that we're not related, no blood ties, and that I haven't officially registered you as my child. She knows this, right?
Yeah, I told her that before we even got married. She thought it was weird at first when I kept calling you Judith, but when she asked me about that, I told her that my dad brought me up as a single parent, and that you and Dad got married after I finished school and was already working. I also explained that since I was already an adult, I wasn't really necessary to do all the paperwork for adoption.
That's what I wanted to verify. Thanks.
Do you have any evidence that Melanie demanded that you leave?
Yes, she contacted me online. So the whole conversation should be there word for word.
I'd appreciate it if you could send me the entire conversation. I want to get a grasp of the whole situation.
Okay, I can do that. I'll send it later.
Oh, and one more thing. Now that you moved out, I don't see how we can go on living here any longer. The only problem is that Melanie just got out of the hospital and is still pretty weak and needs rest. As you know, the baby is tiny. We really shouldn't be taking our son outside for now. Would you mind waiting 3 or so months until we're ready to move? I'd really appreciate it.
Of course, Rob. How can I say no?
Thank you so much, Judith, and I'm really sorry about all this. And I appreciate your considerateness.
No need to apologize. I just hope things work out for you two. Or should I say 3? Hey, pick up, would you? This is my first time hearing about this. What's going on? Oh, hello, Melanie. It's been a while. How are you? Let's cut the niceties, shall we? Why the hell do we have to move out? You're the one who was supposed to get the hell out of here! I finally scheduled it so that my folks would move in. As a matter of fact, they just terminated their apartment lease and packed their stuff. What the hell is going on? What have you done? I'm sure you heard everything from Rob. He told you that the owner of the house is me. That can't be right. When a father dies, the son takes over as heir. Rob's the only son. The house obviously goes to him. What are you, delusional? And you have to pay all kinds of taxes too. Like property and state taxes. You're just a housewife. You would never be able to pay that. Oh, I see now. That's where all misunderstandings come from. A misunderstanding? What are you talking about? For starters, I'm not a housewife. Actually, I'm an investor. Wait, excuse me? An investor? I'm not only investing in stocks, but also have considerable real estate assets too. And that house you guys are living in right now? I bought that house years ago, which is also in my name. Wait a sec, am I hearing you right? My husband's office was not far away, so when we married, we moved in here. It was just more convenient. After a few years, Rob got transferred to this area, so he moved in with us. The place is pretty big, so 3 adults wasn't a problem, and we had the cottage out back. We lived a nice, peaceful existence for years, before you arrived. So, does that mean that the house will not be Rob's for the foreseeable future? That's where you got your wires crossed again, Melanie. About any inheritance, we decided long ago that when my sister's child turns 30, she would inherit the house. We decided that years ago, and Rob's father was well aware of it, as Rob is. I'm surprised he didn't tell you. Are you for real? That doesn't make sense! Even if Rob is not your real child, he is nevertheless your son. You can't deny that. He has rights too. Being your son, he has way more rights and priority than some niece or nephew. I never officially adopted him as my son. Therefore, there is no inheritance involved. Although he may be perceived as my son. I don't want to sound crude, but he is actually a stranger. Wait a second. So, does that mean, no matter what I do, this house will never be mine? That seems to be the case. You can't do this! No way! I won't let you do this! I already talked to Rob about all this. I'm bewildered by your reaction. I thought it was all resolved. This wasn't how it was supposed to end! We were supposed to get the house. My folks were supposed to. Am I hearing you right? Was that your intention? To somehow outright own that house? Is this what it's all about? Yeah, so what? I have no say in what you two are going to do going forward. That's for you and Rob to decide. Excuse me? I decided to move out and live at my summer home near the ocean. As for that house, I'm going to put it up for rent in the near future. Once I get the schedule figured out, I'll send you the date I will need you to move out. I would appreciate it if you get all your things packed and ready to move out by then. How did it turn out this way? What's going on? Can you at least give us that summer home? Hello, Mom? It's been a while. How have you been? Is that you, Melanie? What do you want? I hope it's not about extending your stay. I already have that place on the market. Besides, I thought we made it clear that we have to cut all ties. Cut ties? Why would we do that? Can't you see me and your grandson right outside your window on your front doorstep? Come on, Mom. Open up the front door and let us in. Pardon me? What are you talking about? Which front doorstep? Are you even at the right house? I'm looking outside the door, but I don't see anybody. You're not fooling me one bit with that kind of play acting, Mom. I did a little checking up on you, like where you moved. Pardon me? You checked up on me? Remember a few months back? You were talking about moving to your summer house back east, near the ocean. Now that has to be the ritzy area near Hamilton Beach, right? I did a thorough check on that place. I checked every address around the area and finally tracked you down. Hamilton Beach? I don't live in Hamilton Beach. Where'd you get that idea? Huh? Oh, wait, what? There are plenty of other areas that have wonderful beach resorts all up and down the East Coast. I never said I had a summer home in the Hamilton Beach area. But your name's right here on the mailbox. That's how I tracked you down. My last name is pretty common. I read somewhere that it's one of the top 10 names in the US. I bet there are dozens of people in that area with my first and last name. You're kidding me, right? You're not pulling a fast one on me, now, are you?
Now, why would I do that? I have no reason to lie to you. If you're making a scene in front of some stranger's house, I suggest you leave before they call the police. That was a close call. I talked my way out of it. I said I was lost. That guy was about to call the cops on me. So, Melanie, what's this all about? Pardon me? Why did you come all the way out east to find me? Were you just curious to see where I lived? Well, I figured, you're not getting any younger. Maybe you wanted us to live with you. I mean, with your grandson and all. Live with me? You want to move in with me? Yeah, your husband's passed, living all alone. Figured you'd want some company. I really don't need a total stranger to be concerned about my well-being. But you're living alone and... I didn't mention this before, but I plan on living with my other son. My real son and his family. You have a son? You mean... Yes, we're planning on constructing a 2-family home not far from here. We'll live separately, but live on the same property. Kind of like the arrangement we had before, but more spacious. Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about Rob and his family. Family being me and your grandson. Why didn't Rob tell me? What a relief. But if that's your plan, I would appreciate it if you could maybe stay at that nice little summer home and have my folks move into this new house. Now that would be the best outcome possible. There you go again, Melanie, always coming to hasty conclusions. I said my real son. I wasn't talking about Rob. Not Rob. Wait a sec, what? I have a 28-year-old son from a previous marriage. I suppose that makes him Rob's younger stepbrother. I talked to Rob about this already. I told him I was going to live with my real son and his family. Oh, and they have a 2-year-old daughter. You already have a grandchild? Didn't I tell you this before? I thought I did. Did you? I don't recall. Oh, and didn't Rob file for divorce? Who told you? I don't live with Rob anymore, as you know, but I do keep in touch with him. Despite what you think, Rob and I are on good terms. We've always seen eye to eye. The reason he filed for divorce is mainly because of your infidelity. When did you find out about... I know a lot more than you think, Melanie. Including the fact that the child you gave birth to was not Rob's at all. Rob confided in me that he has no idea who the father is. The DNA test proves it's not his. When did you talk to him about... No use trying to deny it, Melanie. He told me everything. But there must be something. I better get going. I'm having some friends over this afternoon. Please, Mom, Judith, please. I have nowhere to live. Goodbye forever, Melanie. Please, Mom. I later learned that she came looking for my summer home in Hamilton Beach area with her parents in tow. It seems the 4 of them were left with nowhere to live. I guess they figured that if they rushed to my home in Hampton Beach, which is not where I live, somehow they would be able to move in, at least for a while. I think their intention was to somehow kick me out and take over the house. Why they thought that, I have no idea. As a result of their misguided pipe dream, they were left homeless. They were lucky they had their grandchild with them because a nearby relative took pity on them and put them up for a few nights. But word spread of their antics among the relatives, and eventually, sad to say, the child was put up for adoption. I hear they worked out some deal with a relative who owns a ranch out in Montana. They were allowed to live in a converted barn for the foreseeable future. It's apparently a pretty hard life on a farm. But evidently, they are trying to make ends meet as best they can.